Good afternoon and welcome to this special afternoon edition of, I don't know, Start Being Visible with Mildred. Okay, so this is a LinkedIn live session where I am here to talk about how to get the most from LinkedIn as a new creator. Now, this is part 2 of a conversation that we started last week. So if you haven't watched that first conversation, that first afternoon session that I did, go check it out on my profile. I think the link is somewhere within the body of the text of what you're watching right now, if you're watching this on LinkedIn. Now, I want you to know, I don't want you to know, I want to know where you are tuning in from. If you're here with me live, this is half an hour later than I usually do this afternoon session. So I hope you haven't finished your lunch and you're going to leave me here, right? Because if you are here live, I want you to let me know in the comments who you are and where in the world you're tuning in from. And I also want you to do me a favor because I am trying out new equipment, fancy equipment, in preparation for my podcast launch, which is happening next month. I am so excited about that, and you are going to be absolutely excited about the podcast. It's called Start Being Visible with Mildred Talabi, and it's going to be all about how you can build yourself, raise your own visibility, not just on LinkedIn, but beyond. And I'm going to be having amazing conversations with women in every industry who are doing that exact thing. So you are going to want to subscribe to this podcast when it launches next month in October. So stay tuned for that. But I am testing out my fancy equipment for this podcast recording, right? Because it's going to be a live recording and then it's going to go into podcast. So I need you to let me know that I am sounding fresh. That is the favor that I need. If you can hear me clearly and everything sounds good and the camera's working well and it's all thumbs up, put a thumbs up in the comments, please, just so I know what we're working with here. And of course, if you are tuning in for the first time or the second time or the third time, however many times you're tuning in, I want to know who you are, where you're tuning in from, and please just react in the comments to let me know that you're watching. Just to give me some kind of reaction so I know who's watching afterwards and who is clocking in live to this show. So today we are going to talk about how to get the most from LinkedIn as a new creator. This is part 2, as I said, of a 2-part session that we started last week. So Angelicia, good afternoon from Lincoln, UK. Good to have you with us. I have a user. It just tells me LinkedIn user. I have a user who's live from US. Good to see you. Alina from Halifax. Good to see you. Bertram from Texas. Vila from Atlanta. Musigusi, who is not unpopular or popular. I don't know which one it is. You are popular with me, Musigusi. I don't know where you're tuning in from, but good to have you, Marisha, and everybody else. And okay, I'm seeing a thumbs up, which means that the tech is doing what the tech is supposed to be doing, which is brilliant. So we can now go into today's session. And by the way, if you were at the last session, let me know in the comments if you heard part 1 of this. If you didn't, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to do a quick recap, but I'd love to know who was at the last session as well. So just let me know in the comments. Now, we are going to talk about how to get the most out of LinkedIn as a new creator. Now, last week, I spoke about what a new creator is, because some people, you might not consider yourself a LinkedIn creator, but essentially, if you create content and you post it on LinkedIn and you do this on a consistent basis for a purpose, whether it's to promote, to build your personal brand or to advance your business, then congratulations, you are a creator. But how are you going to get the most out of LinkedIn? That's what I want to help you with. And we started last week by talking about the benefit of LinkedIn. We talked about why LinkedIn is the best platform to build your personal brand and build your business. And then I started breaking down some myths that people have about LinkedIn and sharing some key facts, which I will talk more about in this session as well. And then I am going to talk to you about the core foundations of your LinkedIn success. And of course, I'm going to give you I'm going to share with you the starting place for your LinkedIn visibility, so you can go away from this session with something super practical that you can actually apply. But here's the thing: if you, as you're listening into this and you're like, Mildred, this all sounds wonderful and I want to do it, but it's a little bit overwhelming, guess what? I can help you. If you don't know, my name is Mildred Talabi, and I am a LinkedIn visibility and personal branding coach. I primarily work with women in business and senior level female professionals to build your personal brand on LinkedIn in order to advance your career or your business. So my clients tend to increase in 3 areas, or all 3 areas: in their influence, in their income, and in their impact. So if you want to know what it's like to work with me as your coach, drop me a DM at any point during the session, send me a message or reach out afterwards and say, Mildred, let's talk, because I need you, right? I have a small window of people that I take on at the moment because I'm focusing on some really crucial business goals this year. I'm only offering what I call my VIP day service, which is a one-to-one service where you get to work with me for a really kind of accelerated period of time to build your entire business or your brand on LinkedIn. It is amazing and transformational. So if that sounds like a good fit for you, send me a DM. I've only got 2 spaces for that this month. So if you want it, let me know ASAP. But okay, so we are talking today we're not building anything. We're talking about how to get the most out of LinkedIn as a new creator. Yes, Alina attended part 1. Vila says, thank you so much for pronouncing my name correctly. I know it. I think names are so important. I don't like not pronouncing people's names correctly, so I always make an effort. So thank you very much. Afsane, good to see you here. Good to see you here. Okay, so let's get into some of the key facts about LinkedIn. We talked last week about how LinkedIn is not a social media platform. It's not this. It was not created with the same aim as Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or even YouTube. Especially Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They were created social places, to kind of waste time. I'm joking. They weren't created to waste time, but you can argue that the algorithm keeps you there to waste your time. But that's a whole other conversation in itself, which we're not going to go into now. But LinkedIn was created as a professional platform. So if you're a professional person in any capacity, this platform is for you. It's for you to express yourself. It's for you to grow. It's for you to contribute. It's for you to build your thought leadership. It's for you to build your business. You can absolutely do all of these things and more on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not just a jobs, is not a social media platform in that sense. It's a professional platform. It has a different aim, but also a misconception that people have is that LinkedIn is a jobs platform. It is not a jobs platform. It stopped being a job platform many, many years ago. It's evolved to so much more than that. So if you're still thinking of it as a jobs platform, you are missing out on what this platform can really do for you. Now, here's what's really important about LinkedIn is that LinkedIn rides on visibility. And what I mean by that, I'm all about being visible, right? My mantra is start being visible. My book is Start Being Visible. My podcast, which I said at the beginning, I'm launching next month, is going to be called Start Being Visible. So I'm all about being visible because I have a background in journalism, PR, and comms, and I understand the importance of visibility. It can be the deal breaker between your business thriving and your business not thriving and your business dying, basically, right? Visibility. Are you being seen by the right people? That can be the difference between you getting that promotion at work or you being missed out for promotion yet again because you are not visible. So visibility is important. LinkedIn gives you an amazing platform for you to be visible to the right people. So that's something that you should definitely take advantage of. Okay, so and here's the last one. I'm going to give you about the facts, right? Before I go into like the core foundations of LinkedIn success. I have 3, but I'm kind of thinking which one I'm going to. Okay, I'm going to give you this one because it can, and then I'm going to talk about it properly later. Not the social selling one. I'm not going to give you that one, but LinkedIn is powered by social selling. This is specifically for my business owners. There is a way to do business on LinkedIn that's more effective than other ways. We've all been pitch slapped. That's what it's called. When you get that message in your inbox that you didn't ask for, that's not particularly the best way to do business on LinkedIn. Social selling is another way, but that's a conversation for another time that I actually run a masterclass on. But I will tell you about that another day. But so I want to tell you this. LinkedIn is a long-term strategy. Now, if you're here on LinkedIn as a new creator and you're frustrated that I'm not getting engagement, that no one's liking what I'm posting, I'm putting out good content and nothing's happening. By the way, can you relate to that? Have you ever thought, like, have you put out content, or maybe this happens to you, or maybe it's happened to you in the past, you're putting out content and you just don't seem to be getting much engagement on your content, and you're wondering, what on earth is wrong? What's wrong with me? you know how dramatic we get, or is that just me? When we internalize stuff, right? Instead of what's wrong, it's what's wrong with me, right? If you can relate, let me know in the comments. But what part of the disappointment that I find when I speak to new creators and when I take on new clients who are new to LinkedIn and they've been kind of trying to DIY it themselves and it's not working, is this whole thing of expecting results too quickly. If that's you, if you're expecting results too quickly, you are setting yourself up for disappointment, because LinkedIn is a long-term strategy. You need to commit to the process and you need to be here for the long run. Okay, so that I kind of skipped ahead of myself, because that is actually, I want to talk about the core foundations of LinkedIn success, and what I just said now is going to come into it in a minute. But so I want you to let me know in the comments, actually, and as I go through this, by the way, if you've got any questions for me, drop it in the comments, because I want to answer those for you. I want you to leave the session with some clarity if you're stuck in any way on LinkedIn as a new creator or a newish creator. You don't have to be brand new to LinkedIn, but if you're not effectively using LinkedIn to whatever your goal is, right, to whether that's to move your career forward or to grow your business, then in that sense, you are a newish creator for the purpose of this session that I'm doing now. So let me know what you're struggling with the most as a new creator. And then I can help you with some answers, on this live session. Moses, good to see you, Moses. And Katie from Florida representing. Good to see you both. Welcome. Right. So for anybody else tuning in just now, we are talking about how to get the most out of LinkedIn as a new creator. So I'm going to go into the core foundations of LinkedIn success, what I'm calling the core foundations of LinkedIn success. Now, if you want to succeed on LinkedIn as a new creator, there are some foundations that you need to have in place. And I'm going to share with you what they are right now. It's not one of those, you go to those sessions, right? And they say to you, I'm going to tell you the secret to whatever the secret is that they're going to tell you, right? And then there's a ... and it's all you have to do is sign up to whatever else, or drop your email here or whatever. And then there's always a catch. There's no catch here. I'm not trying to catch you. I'm trying to share. I'm trying to help you, right? If you find this stuff useful, let me know in the comments. If you find it so useful that you're like, Mildred, I need more of your help, send me a DM to talk about coaching, right? I don't take on everybody, but I do have some space in my diary this month for 2 VIP days clients. So they're like 1-day sessions, absolutely amazing for transforming your business in particular and your personal brand if you're in a career space. So send me a message with VIP, help me, Mildred, however you want to phrase it, and we can have that conversation. But okay, so we are looking at the core foundations of LinkedIn success. And number one, these are not in any particular order, and because I forgot to type it before, I'm going to type it now, right? Number one, core foundation of LinkedIn success: content. Content is important. If you are going to succeed on LinkedIn, you are going to need to produce content. Now, without content, you are invisible. So there's content that comes in the shape of the post that you put out yourselves. That is content. That's the primary content there is. And then there's also content that comes from you engaging with other people, the content that comes from other people's posts, right? So, and then there's also the content that's your profile. So your profile in itself is the starting place of your content. The LinkedIn profile, where people land, the first place where they see who you are and what you're about, that's the first place that your content matters the most. What do you have written in your profile right now? In fact, I'm asking you that question. If right now your target audience, whoever that might be, lands on your profile right now, this very second, while you're here with me watching this live and interacting with me in this live, and they land on your profile, ask yourself this question: does what they see sell your brand? So what they're going to see on your profile, does it accurately reflect your brand? Whether you're a career professional, you're in business, does it accurately reflect your brand? Does it accurately reflect you? You might say, Mildred, I don't have a brand, in which case I'll reply, yes, you do. You just don't know about it. We all have a personal brand. Now, you can either let your personal brand be passive by not doing anything about it, or you can actively build that personal brand by really taking the time to start being visible on LinkedIn. And the first place you're going to do this is through your content, because that's a core foundation of LinkedIn success. So let me know who loves your profile right now. If you think your profile is good, and you love it and you think it does the job, say yes, profile is good. If you think it's lacking, then say no, I need help on my profile, right? And actually, what I might do, am I going to make this promise live on air? Because I'm thinking, Mildred, where are you going to find the time to do this, right? Because I want to help you. Right, the first 3 people who think your profile isn't good enough, right? You think, I don't have a good profile, I need help. Drop your profile link in the comment. Actually, you don't have to drop your profile link because your name leads to your comment. Just say, I need help with my profile. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a very quick look at it. Not right now because we're live. After we're live, I'm going to take a very quick look at it at some point and give you some very quick basic feedback. Now, this is something I used to charge people for. I don't do it anymore because I don't have time to do that kind of stuff. But I'm going to do it for you. Absolutely complimentary. The first 3 people to say, I need help with my profile in the comments, I will give you a free review, essentially, of your profile. So there we go. I've said it on air, so I cannot take it back. I can't take it back. All right. So that's the starting place. Your profile is checking out your profile and making sure that reflects your brand, or it reflects the image of your brand that you want to portray to the outside world. Oh my God, everybody's coming in with this. I've got way more than 3 already. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna have to look at the first 3 that came in, but I'm so sorry. I've got about 8 people already typing yes. If you're watching this on replay, I'm so sorry. This doesn't apply to you. Next time you should be live. You should be live so you can get the opportunities. Okay. But all right, those first 3 people, I'm gonna go and I will check it out later. So content is the and maybe I should name who they are, maybe because I can't see who they are and I don't want to name the wrong people and then someone else is like, I was first, Okay, all right. So content is one of the core foundations of LinkedIn success. If you are going to succeed on LinkedIn, you need to create content. If you are going to build a brand on LinkedIn, a personal brand on LinkedIn, you need to create content. And by the way, when I say create content, I mean original content. Original. We need to hear you. You can't just be resharing and reposting other people's stuff all the time. That is not a brand. You are not the BBC. Your job is not to broadcast news. Your job is to position yourself with your thoughts, your views, and help change people's lives, influence people, make an impact through your contribution. So it has to be unique content to you. When you're starting out, you can do more of this second thing, which is, I'm going to type it here because this is the second core foundation for LinkedIn success. As you can see, I'm so well prepared with this, right? I'm so well prepared that I'm typing it live on air. But good thing I can type fast. I learned how to type fast from a very young age. Right. The second thing in the core foundations of LinkedIn success. So content is one of the core foundations. The other one is this: community. Community is super, super important if you are going to succeed on LinkedIn. Now, what do I mean by community? I mean your audience. You know, I mean, the audience, the engagement, followers, your network, all of that kind of stuff. LinkedIn is a communal platform because guess what? There's people on here. There are people on here. That's why it's a community. So building a community by building your follower base, building your connections base, building relationships with your audience and also other people on LinkedIn is really going to serve you well as a new creator, because that will open the door for opportunities for you. It will also help to extend your reach as you're putting out content as a new creator. So community is really important. Nathan says, thank you for this. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you for tuning in. If this is helping you, please let me know in the comments, right? Just let me know, Mildred, this is helping me. If there's anything that that resonates particularly, drop it in the comments. Let me know what's resonating so I know what's landing for you. And of course, if you've got any questions, also drop that in the chat as well. But so community is important if you are going to have success on LinkedIn. Now, engagement as a new creator, this is what I was saying, like building content is important, but especially when you're starting off and you don't have a lot of people in your network, you should really focus on engaging first, you know. So get your profile right and then go out and engage with people. By that, it means leaving comments, you know, on other people's posts, leaving meaningful comments, right? Meaningful comments is not great post. Meaningful comment is not I like this. It's actually saying something, you know, but make it at least a sentence, you know, something. If the person who posted is asking a question, then reply in the comments. That's a meaningful comment. That gets the attention of the person. Even if it doesn't get their attention, it'll get other people's attention and other people can engage with you. And guess what happens when you're out there doing all that kind of stuff? People will say, hey, who's this person who left such a meaningful comment? Oh, Rachel left this great comment. Let me go check out Rachel's profile. Or, you know, they'll be like, oh, I like what Kate said under the comments. I'm going to go check Kate out. You know, so it's like, as you do that and as you're going out, then what is happening is you are becoming more visible through engaging and interacting with the community of LinkedIn. And then final thing on community is that you are going to find that you will build your own community on LinkedIn. Now, I have a membership group called Visible Women Tribe, which at the moment it's on a long sabbatical. We're relaunching next year. But this is a community of women who are committed to being visible in their own life. They've said, I've had enough of hiding. I'm going to step into the spotlight. You know, so most of them are former clients, and then some are just other women who plugged into the vision that I had when I started posting on LinkedIn and sharing my thoughts around visibility and women. This community built it. So someone put on my post yesterday or the day, I don't know. Somebody was like, LinkedIn is becoming like Twitter, full of like hate and, you know, debates and all sorts of awful stuff. I don't know what on earth he was on about. And I was like, I said to him, who are you following on LinkedIn? Like, because if that's the experience that you're having on LinkedIn, then there's something wrong with the community that you've built on LinkedIn and you need to unbuild it, you know. So community is important. You can absolutely build the right community, and you do that by being strategic about who you follow, who you unfollow, and all that good stuff. Okay, right. So, thank you, Angelita. Angelita says, Mildred, you are dropping helpful info. Thank you so much. Alex is asking, what does success look like? Okay, that is a very good question, Alex, because success is relative. You know, so success to me may not necessarily be the same as success to you. So this is why the very starting point before you start creating on LinkedIn is to define for yourself, what does success look like? So in the very beginning, before I take on clients, one of the things I say to them in the discovery call process that we have, I ask them, what does success on LinkedIn look like for you? You know, so they might say things like, it means having 1,000 followers. It means getting my first paid client from LinkedIn. It means getting a podcast interview or more speaking engagement, whatever that is. Someone might say it means getting more recognition at work. Success differs for everybody. So the starting place is to really kind of make clear for yourself, what does success look like for me? because when you do that, then that becomes like a map that you can build towards. If having 50,000 followers, I have 50,000 plus followers on LinkedIn, that was never a metric that was part of my goal in the beginning. You know, I never intended to do that. That just happened. But now I'm intentional, because I'm like, actually, I do want to grow that some more. So I'm looking for, by the end of the year, to get to 100,000 followers. You know, hey, come on, follow me if you're not already following me, right? And that's because for me, it's about influence. Influence matters to me. It's one of my core philosophies, you know, influence and impact. And you can do that by reaching people en masse. And that's why that's one of my metrics of success on LinkedIn. So I hope that answers your question, Alex. Okay, final, the third one before we run out of time, and we're not going to do a part 3 at all because there's other things to talk about, right? So the third one in the core foundations of LinkedIn success. So firstly, these are the core foundations. The first one is content. You must create content. The second one is build a community and around you, and plug into your community on LinkedIn. And then the final one, which I'm going to type. I thought I typed it already, but I'm going to do that now. The final one is, I hope I spelled that right. Consistency. I could also call this commitment, right? Commitment is the bit that happens at the beginning. So how I really started to build my personal brand on LinkedIn in this way, and build all the followers and all of that kind of stuff, is at the beginning of 2020. I committed. I said, listen, I'm going to go all in on LinkedIn. So I paid for some program, which was like a 30-day LinkedIn challenge that I did at the time, which got us to post every single day on LinkedIn. It was hard work, because before that I was posting now and again whenever inspiration hit, and that wasn't very often, right? So, but I committed, and I spent that 30 days of that January in 2020 posting every single day on LinkedIn, because this was important to me. And guess what? It has stuck. You know, since then I went from that commitment to consistency. I have posted every single weekday on LinkedIn for 3.5 years, almost 4 years. January will be 4 years, without stopping. Consistency matters. Whatever it is that you want to find success in, you must become consistent in it. I'm not saying that you have to post every single weekday like I do. If that's not your goal, that's absolutely fine. But you do have to commit. If you want to see some kind of success and results from LinkedIn, you do have to commit to some kind of routine. You can't just leave it to kind of now and again when you feel inspired to post on LinkedIn. That's not going to work. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for your audience. So get consistent, and that will help you to succeed. The days when you don't feel like showing up, you know, when you don't feel like posting on LinkedIn, those are the days when consistency is going to save your life, because you just have a routine that you follow. Because imagine we do things like this. When you're at work, if you don't feel like going to work, you don't just not go up. You know, you don't just not go to work. If you're a parent and you don't feel like, I don't know, wiping your baby's bottom when they're babies. Mine ain't babies anymore. I don't wipe their bottoms anymore. But you imagine if your baby poos in a nappy, you don't feel like doing it. What are you gonna do? You're still gonna do it, right? Because you're committed. So why do we think stuff like LinkedIn? We're like, oh, you know, don't get too deep into it. But if you the level of effort and commitment that you put in is going to determine the results that you get. That's the honest truth. I'm not going to be here and tell you that, yeah, you can just be casual about LinkedIn and still find success. You are not. If you're casual about it, you will get casual results. But if you're serious and you commit and you become consistent, you will get some seriously good results. Okay. And if you need help doing that, reach out to me and talk to me about coaching. I can potentially coach you if you're a good fit. And you can have one of my 2 VIP places for this month. Let's set up a call. Let's talk about it. Okay. So that is where we are going to wrap up today, because we are at the top of the hour, and absolutely not going to go over time today because I got another meeting to get to. But listen, so just to recap, there's 3 things, the foundations of LinkedIn success. There's core foundations. Number 1, I should get you to recap in the comments, right? Number 1 is content. Number 2 is community. And number 3 is consistency. So If this has been helpful, let me know in the comments. If you've got any key takeaways, anything you're going to do different. I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do differently as a result of listening to this? And if you're watching on replay, the question goes to you too. What are you going to do differently as a result of listening to this live today? Let me know in the comments. So that's a form of public accountability, right? And there's nothing better than committing yourself publicly. You can't back out of it. Just like I committed to reviewing the profiles of the first 3 people who typed in, I need help. So I'm going to go back at some point before the weekend or maybe by the weekend. So please bear with me because I have a lot on. And I will come back to you and I will give you that review of your profile. Now, if we're not already connected, reach out, connect, hit the follow button, hit the bell next to my underneath my profile so you can subscribe to my posts. I post every weekday, as I said, kind of between the hours of 6:30 and 7 a.m. Because that's before I have to get up and do all the school run stuff, right? You know, so if you're there and we're live, we can engage, we can interact at that time. But okay, so that is it. I am going to sign off and I'm going to say I will see you again on this LinkedIn Live. I don't know when, but for sure you will see me in October when the Start Being Visible podcast launches, and you're going to absolutely love that podcast. Okay, right, that's it. We're signing off. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for being here. Yes, I'm loving the takeaways that you're putting in the comments. So thank you for those takeaways. And I look forward to seeing you all again the next time I'm live, which I don't know when it will be, but it will be another time. There will be another time. So, all right, take care for now. Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.